Have you ever felt like you were on a completely different path than the one you thought you were going to be on? The one that you created, that future that you wanted. Even as a child, you saw it, you wanted it, you dreamed it. But yet today, you're not in that particular direction. There is something called swapping and destiny swapping, and that's what today's video is about. So I thank you for joining us. And, I really want to go in deep on this particular topic because right now, as we enter into the beginning of June, this is a major time frame for us to make sure that we are recognizing what's going on. A lot of people from the past are going to be returning, and some of them are returning to get your destiny, to take your energy back and forth. So let's go a little deep, and I'll share with you some personal situations. Now, I don't normally write my notes, but you will see me looking down. I want to make sure I get everything in this for you and not rely on my memory. So if you see me looking down, that's what it is, you guys. But this energy and destiny swapping, it often happens in relationships, particularly the people that we are closest with, our friends, our family, especially if we are dealing with narcissistic people. Now, this entire journey that you've been going through has to do with the light and the dark, and that is talking about narcissist versus empath. People who have empathy, the overgiver, the overachiever, the one who likes to satisfy, who can't take somebody else out of their priority and let them accrue their own destiny points, right? So it doesn't stop here with friends and family, even our own children. It goes even deeper than that. It goes into our careers. It goes into the people that we live with. So first, let's take a look at what destiny swapping is, what energy swapping is. In spiritual terms, energy swapping happens when you give a piece of your soul, your essence, your vision, your divine path away, often unintentionally, to someone else. Now remember, we all have a destined plan. We were born with a plan. It's the Akashic record, which is actually on the palm of your hand. All of these lines through palmistry, you can see what your destiny is, as well as your astro chart. So a lot of you have been looking at what direction you go and how to learn and get a grasp of this. But the bottom line is, even if you didn't do it, there are people around you, whether you are spiritual, whether you are religious, whether you are anything, atheist, it doesn't matter. There are people who see the light inside of you. And this begins a cycle that has been happening for, some of you can say this is a repetitive cycle, 50 years. Some of you say it's 100 years or 200 or into the thousands of years, where we go through this cycle of life where the narcissist is born and then they create and they do different. We can look back at the silent generation. They had to be silent for a reason. They had to be silent for a reason, right? They couldn't talk. They couldn't share. You weren't allowed to speak your truth. So here, this division created the boomers, who often took on the same attributes as their parents and then reflected on down the line. And then there's a generation that stops, and that generation overgives to their children, creating yet a new cycle, right? And that's what we're dealing with. So destiny swapping is when your future starts to revolve around their needs and not your needs, their chaos, their control, and their emptiness within. And these type of individuals that take it, whether you knowingly or unknowingly, they're empty. There's something inside of them missing. Sometimes it can be greed and jealousy. They don't like that you have what they want, so they want to take it. You begin to carry their burdens. You carry their dreams out for them. You play out certain things for them to protect them, to keep them safe, to keep peace in the family, harmony in the relationship. But you also oftentimes take on their karma. And karma is what you put out, you get back. So if you do dirty, you're going to get dirty back. And that's what's going on right now between June and September, is karma at a high point. So a lot of the people that are out of people's lives will be returning, and they're here for a reason. Not all of them. Some are healed, some are different, but the majority of them are not. So it can look like sacrifice, okay, as you're giving away your clarity. You have a vision and you're talking to, let's say you're talking to your partner, and your partner says, I have this dream and I want to do this, but I don't know how to do this. And you say, and you get this clear vision and you tell them exactly what to do. They take that vision and they turn it around, and next thing you know, they're leaving and they're taking everything with them, and you're left empty and dry. Now, it sounds like love, but underneath it's not. It's your life forces being diverted from this situation with this person. So let's look at how narcissist relationships trigger this swapping. Narcissists are masters at energy theft. They steal it from you. Oftentimes you don't even know that they're taking it from you. They mimic your light. You see, narcissists can see the light in you, and you don't even necessarily know you have the light. So this could start when you were a child and it happened then. Maybe you were the scapegoat. Maybe you met a person who was the love of your life. And I'll share a story of my own about that situation as well. They embody your gifts long enough, whatever it is that you are aware, whatever gifts you have that you put out there, they embody those gifts to make you believe that they are your soulmate. A lot of people play the soulmate card. Then they begin to inhabit your dreams. They start getting in there and draining from the inside out. Now, when you understand narcissistic manipulation, the abuse that comes with it, you're going to know exactly what that means. That's a whole nother video. And on my podcast, on my Ascending talk show, we're going to be discussing that in great detail. Now, in my own life, around the age of 13, I dreamed of traveling. That's what I wanted to do, because I had an uncle who traveled, and I had an aunt who would talk about places that she went to, two different family members. They weren't related. So I would hear them and other people talking about these amazing adventures, and it was so exciting, and I wanted to do it very much. That was my goal. I wanted to graduate. I wanted to go on a trip with my friends to New York as a celebration, and then I wanted to go to college and travel. Then I wanted to settle down, get married, have kids, etc. But it didn't happen that way. It happened in a very different way. I fell in love in a young age, and it was kind of like manipulation. I loved him, but I didn't know if I was in love with him, but I wasn't sure, because I grew up as a scapegoat. I was the scapegoat. Now, keep in mind, if you're a scapegoat, if you've been a victim, every human being has been a victim. Every single person has been a victim, whether that's a victim of hardship, like what we're talking about right now, or if this is a victim of circumstance. You're driving down the street. My son's driving down the street. It's 2:00 in the morning. Somebody runs a red light, rams into him, wipes out the whole side of his car. It bent the frame. Now that car is worthless. It was on camera. It was recorded by those traffic lights, but it wasn't available. They wouldn't let us pay for it. They wouldn't give us the footage, so we couldn't find out who did it. They know who did it. We couldn't find out. So he was a victim of circumstance. So every single person in one way or another has been a victim. Okay, so get that whole victim mentality out of your mind, all right? There's a difference between being a victim and victimized. Victimized means you're recovered, all right? There's a difference. He recovered, he got rid of the car. Done. It's all gone. Now, with my situation, I married this man. He was my first recognizable soulmate. I knew we were meant to be together, but yet I didn't want to get married. When I got married, I really wanted my dream. I wanted these goals. However, it didn't fit in the plan that he wanted, and I sacrificed to give him what he wanted. And in sacrificing that, I became down here, he became up here. because everything fed into growing him. Where when we left, my dream was gone. I was single and I was taking care of children. I couldn't travel. I couldn't go to Europe. I couldn't do the things that I wanted to do. I didn't get to go to New York. I didn't get to experience all of these things. Rather, I was trying to keep my security in line and keep my children safe, walking on eggshells to try and keep peace with the ex who was already engaged 3 weeks after we were married. He was with her 3 days later and then engaged 3 weeks later, etc. You know the sagas and how they work. I lost the years to that illusion. I lost direction. I lost focus. And it was all given to him. And there was a point in time where I even felt almost hopeless, like I wouldn't get it. But yet today, I stand here, I sit here in my new place in Spain as I am traveling all over the place and finally getting to live the dream. I lived an entire life that I wasn't destined to live, but I took the long route. So if you've taken the long route, if you've ever felt like there is no hope on getting what it is that you want, just know that it's there. But you must be aware of what's going on, okay? You must be aware of how they steal it, the manipulation, the gaslighting, the mental distortion that comes from these types of relationships where you literally transfer your energy to them. So it's not it's not just emotional or mental, it's also a physical situation. There's a person I know who was thinning, their hair is thinning on top. And they would want to speak to me and I would make time to talk to them. We'd have this great conversation talking about their hair and all of this. And I have lots of hair. My hair is thin, but I have a ton of it. It takes 2 sets of rollers to curl my hair. And I noticed that mine started thinning on top. Like, it's like, what's going on? Like, you could see it and it didn't feel right. Things were kind of out of whack. And it dawned on me, hers, within 3 weeks of our conversation, was already better. It already grew back. All of a sudden, she had a full head of hair, just like I had. We exchange energy and we don't know that we're doing it, especially when it's people that we love and care about. So you let your guard down. I mean, I can block myself here on these YouTube videos because it comes through on these YouTube videos. I can block myself in person. I stay back. I don't really become a touchy, friendly person, although there are people that I do trust, but I had to learn how to trust. The point is, it was a toxic situation in my marriage. It was actually, I don't know that my friend knew this was happening. However, every time they needed to have pictures done, we're going to travel, an important meeting, we wound up having these conversations, and I noticed this was going on. I was like, whoa, shit, you're taking my energy, you're taking my physical, energetical part of me. This is a swap, an energetic swap. With the marriage, it was a destiny swap and an energy swap. It was both of them, because walking on eggshells, you are always leaking your energy. So as we continue going forward, it wasn't sympathy. It just was simply an energy exchange out of lighthearted love, out of full love and compassion, out of a lot of different reasons that we just don't realize. We transfer this. I carried his pain. His pain was of abandonment. I carried her pain of feeling the loss on a physical level. And we can have this happen very, very quickly. It happens super quick. We don't even know that it's happening. Another instance that I am aware of, I will share with you. If you are a business owner, if you are an energy healer, if you work in helping people in any way, a creator right here on our wonderful platform. Somebody I hired somebody I knew that hired another person, somebody they knew, to fix their website, came in and wound up flipping, manipulating. This is a narcissistic person. They knew the person, they trusted the person, but they came in and said, I know how to fix it. Give me access to everything. I'm going to redesign it. I will transfer your website, your domain. So this person gave them all access to everything on their business. Next thing you know, they set it up wrong and said, oops, sorry, I can't fix it. So now you owe me a monthly fee because I set it up wrong. It's your responsibility to pay me, and locked up the domain underneath their umbrella of business. So it locked up their business. The person I'm talking about, they couldn't function properly because the algorithm knew, okay, why is this company over here attached to this company over here? They are hosting, they have the domain, what's going on? So the person I know immediately pulled back that website and disconnected it. It was only the domain, but it still did affect them. What happened is they were transferring all of the popularity that was going to the existing business because of this was forwarded on an under level through the analytics to the other person. They stole their energy, putting this person in this feeling of being a victim, feeling of being stuck, feeling of what the hell did I just do? And now they're thriving instantly. It happened that quick. I watched it. I was watching the videos. I was watching everything. It happened that quick. But they also pulled it back. They pulled back the energy. So let's take a look real quick at the spiritual mechanics on how it happens a little bit further. There's three core pathways that we're looking at when these type of swapping happen. And it is really important for you to pay attention because, again, some of the people that did it to you before and after you're done with this video, stop and think, did this ever happen to me? Did you buy an outfit? You know, it's like that one movie, I don't remember the name of it, where the girl befriends this other girl who becomes a roommate, and then she leaves, and next thing you know, this girl looks identical, her hair's cut just like her, she dresses like her, she stole her life, right? This happens on a real level. So be careful. Trauma bonding, that's number one. When chaos becomes comfort, when your nervous system forms a soul level contract with that person, you stay, you fix it, endure it, your life pauses as loyalty to them to help them get back on their feet. And off they go, leaving you completely depleted of your energy. Spiritually, there's an energetic cord between the two of you now. If it wasn't already there, it is now. They do form over time. It doesn't necessarily mean you're born to every single cord connection, but that does create a cord connection. Unhealthy relationships will do that. So number two is cord binding through intimacy. Sex, especially in manipulative dynamic, creates soul cords. These cords redirect your soul purpose and they redirect your passion towards someone else. They steal it, and now you're in survival mode. Literally. That sounds like my first example with my ex. Spiritual submission by silence. Every time you ignore the red flags or suppress the truth, you reinforce a contract that says their story matters more than mine. Their life is more important than mine. Getting them up and going is more important than getting my own life, my own dream up and going. And over time, that becomes your life narrative where you start recreating that cycle automatically over and over again. And you start giving it to strangers. You start giving it to people you work with. All of a sudden, they get the promotion that you were working so hard for. And it was like, what just happened? What? Wait, this was my promotion. This was my opportunity. What just happened? You did a switch. And I guarantee you a lot of the manipulators, they know it because, like I said, they can see the light in you before you even recognize there's a light in you. They see you much clearer than you do. So, how do you know if you've swapped paths? This is another really good pinpoint that we want to take a look at. You might notice these signs that one, you can't visualize your own future anymore. It's like that dream of me traveling. It's gone. When I said I felt hopeless, right? It's kind of gone. Even if it's in the back burner a little bit, you just can't see it. And if you can't see it, you can't bring it into fruition. Two, you feel constantly drained, even when you're doing nothing. You just feel drained. Have you ever met a person, you're talking to them and they keep talking and talking, and you're like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm so out of it. I don't even want to listen. It's like you can't think. There have been people I've spent time with. I didn't want to go to birthday parties because they were there. All of these things. I didn't want to be in a meeting because they were there. And you're just drained. Sometimes it's our own family, our children, our partner that does this to us. So you may live in a constant feeling of draining. Let us know if that's you. The next is you are stuck in that survival mode, or a mode, or the fear mode. Okay, I know it sounds weird, but we have a survival mode, and then we have a different aspect of us that lives in fear of the what ifs. And a lot of you, I know I used to, I don't say it anymore, but what if, that is one of the biggest things. What if I leave? What if they leave? What if the money stops? What if I can't get the job? What if? Now, when we're looking on a global scale, let's not say global, I'm talking people, not world. When we're looking at a scale where it is touching other people, like a career, what if somebody else gets the job? You have just opened up your energy right there by saying that. What if somebody else gets it? What if I'm not good enough? You are implanting that in it, and it will come through your energy when you walk into an interview, when you talk to them on the phone, when they read your email, when they read your resume. I pick up energy. I don't have to be around you. I can do it through YouTube. If you've been with me long enough, you know those lives. I answer your questions right in a live show, and I answer them right there, and you guys confirm. And well, I don't remember wrong ones, wrong answers, but the point is energy is readable in all ways. We can feel when somebody walks in the room, we don't have to see them. Energy is unseen, but it is very real. The next one is dreams become anxious, unclear, and it's always about them. Again, it kind of going back into that dream phase, because this is a really big deal. It's very, very important to understand when you help somebody else and you put them before you, you will lose everything underneath you. And then, of course, there's misplaced blame and anger, which is another video I can talk about for you if you'd like, or I'll talk about it on Ascending Talk Show. The link is up here and in the description box. You feel your intuition is dulled, like psychically, the visions, just the feeling, the inner knowing. You feel all of your senses are dulled. Things are changed. You might feel you're disconnected from the divine, you're disconnected from source, and that's not true. You're always connected to God, but you have to tap into that connection. And when you're giving all your energy to someone else, you're too weak to get that in there. Or maybe you just get lost in the uncertainties, I want to say the misery of someone else's pain and suffering, and that will block it, or you think it's blocked. One thing that is also blocked, another, is creativity. The beautiful creativity that we're born with. We're born to create, whether it's art, whether it's writing, or doing videos like this, whatever it is we're meant to do, businesses, or make a new car or an invention. That creativity is on hold. It will literally get stuck and you can't move it. Now remember, energy like this, when I did this, you can feel it. If you take your hands very, very like this, you can feel the heat. That's energy. And you can start moving it and you can expand it. You'll start feeling it. That's what I'm talking about. That energy is put out toward the world. Anybody can grab your idea, anybody can grab your invention, because it just kind of floats away and it's like it gets out of your grasp. The deeper layer is we don't often talk about generational swaps. And this is another highlight for you guys. And a lot of you need to hear this one, because this has to do with what's coming back in, especially between June and September. I'm going to say this one will go further, a little bit further toward the end of the year. Parent-child destiny swapping. Is that real? Absolutely. I'm seeing this more and more with the collective in general. Children knowingly or unknowingly absorbing or overtaking the destiny of the parent that raised them, especially when the parent is a light worker, a healer, somebody who has great empathy towards another. That child may carry the karmic contract that begins to override the parent's soul mission. Oftentimes there is a narcissism involved in it, unhealthy, toxic relationships. We're not trying to diagnose the unhealthy person. We're just denoting that there is that there. In cases of estrangement, it becomes even more potential. The energy of unresolved attachments become like a vacuum, and the parent can feel stuck and spiritually disoriented, as if a part of your soul purpose, your mission, has been stolen or put on hold. It doesn't make the child a villain. It means that the cords were never cleansed. It may be a generational, your parents did it to you, your kids did it to you, because there was no cleansing involved in there. The energy has to take shape from the blocks, both from growing from both sides. The solution isn't guilt or control, it's spiritual sovereignty. Now, what I've done is written an article, and I'll repeat this later in the video, but I've written an article about spiritual sovereignty, and that is on my Substack, and the link will be in here to subscribe. That'll be posted very soon. So overall, in general, I've dealt with so many different things, just as so many of you. Am I a victim? No. I'm actually living the life that I really wanted. I had to call my destiny back, and it wasn't an easy thing. Even though I could help others, and I've been doing it my entire life, where I could look in their life and say, well, you know, you got to go here, here, here. It's missing. I hate when people ask about their keys. Where did I put my keys? I don't like that question. But you know, where's the money? Is he hiding money? Where's he hiding it? And I have to look and I find it. But by the time I'm done helping these other people, I have to work twice as hard to make sure that my life stays in order. It should be easy, but when you're a busy person and you're giving so much as an energy healer, as a healer on any level, nurses, they overgive. You guys overgive all the time. Massage therapists, you are transferring energy on a regular basis, not just through the energy unseen flow. You are doing it with your dang hands, making it even more of a contract, because when we touch somebody, they can pull our energy or give us our energy. I love my property manager because I told him, you're my little spiritual magnet here. Every time he comes around, something amazing comes in to my life. Beautiful person, fully imbalanced, masculine, very masculine, but he also is a balanced person, and he is probably one of the most kindest people I've ever met. So now I'm exploring not only Spain, but I've seen other countries. I got to go to the Vatican, which, wow, that is a story some of you may want to hear. Let me know. I may have to do that one in the membership because, you know, there's tender ears out there. But the truth is, your dreams never die. They may get put on hold, and it may feel hopeless, but they never die, and you can bring them back. No matter how old you are, you can bring them back. I'm 62 years old and I started traveling and I love it. I absolutely am in love. I love the food. I got hurt when I went to the Vatican, so I had to heal my body, hurt my ankle, gained a little bit of weight, 8 pounds, not a big deal. I know a lot of people said, oh, it's your thyroid. And it's like, no, it's not. It's not my thyroid. I got hurt. The point is the experiences and the people that I'm meeting and the culture and the history. These are all the things that I wanted to do since age 13. So if you think your destiny dies, you are wrong. You're recreating your destiny, and this whole spiritual awakening was triggering you to face the darker side of you, the darker side of the people and the experiences that you have been dealing with. If you can conquer it, boom, 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 fight it, remove it, cleanse it, open. Sorry, there's a howling dog. There's a hound dog back there. If you can hear him, he hounds every night. If you can get rid of all of that, you bring in this new destiny, and it may be the same thing that you wanted all along. It can be different. Maybe instead of traveling to Europe, you might want to go to Asia. You might want to go to the other side of whatever country that you're in. You may want to do blank, 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 but it's your destiny. It's your choice. Now, there is a way to call it back. And I was going to do it on here, but what I'm going to do for you is I will post it in my membership. Sorry, guys. I'm going to put it in for my membership on YouTube, $5. My membership on Substack, it's $5. I'll put it in those memberships because I want to help you. I will give you the affirmations, but right now it's time to pull your energy back. Bring your destiny back around to you, create your new destiny. It has everything to do with what we're talking about here, including the location of where you live, which I will talk about because you asked. I will talk about that in another video. So you guys, I wish you much love. Remember, no matter where we are, how far apart we are always together. We are always connected. So use your energy connection wisely. Much love.